Hey everybody, I'm Cam H, publicist for Miss Teena Harris, authoress, two-time authoress, may I say, of the Pimp-A-Lo syndrome. And tonight we're interviewing with Volume 2, Rock to Sleep Recovery. How you doing, Teena?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just want to talk a little bit about the gear we're wearing, if I can do that. We want to thank our Chicago family for the gear we're wearing, Black Lives Matter and I Can't Breathe. And on the note with the Black Lives Matter, I know that the book was somewhat birthed out of the loss of our loved one. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. My nephew, Adam Terrell Harris, was brutally murdered September the 4th of 2009. And it was a very devastating time for my family and I. And so out of that pain, I made some decisions that weren't very wise at all, being so traumatized. And so ultimately out of that, the books came, and that was really a motivating factor, because I made some very poor decisions being traumatized with the murder. But Black lives do matter. And I am very invested in doing all I can to preserve the lives of our people and our children. Mm-hmm. So, I'm very passionate about kids. So,
And I make this mention too on a lighter note. On my gear, it says I can't breathe. And that takes me to when we're dealing with life's traumatizing events and we're trying to deal with relationships that may cause us sometime to not be able to breathe. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I talk about that in both books. I have definitely been in a relationship and I have felt like I couldn't breathe, and I probably made somebody else feel like they couldn't breathe. Sometimes we can feel smothered in one way or the other in a relationship, or strained or so burdened. It's like it takes the life out of you almost. It's sucking you dry in some fashion, form, or shape. So absolutely, I can identify with feeling like I can't breathe. I can identify with feeling like I want to. Yeah, I can identify.
I can too. I have too in the past. And I tell you something else is while we're at it, I want to just go into how can our readers acquire volume 1 and 2, since I know they're going to be looking for both if they don't have them. So where can we find those?
The readers can find volumes 1 and 2 on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Spark and Ingram. And also I'm going to be doing book signings in various cities, and a lot of that's set up now, and it will be posted publicly. But they can do that, and if they want to book me to come do a signing, they can contact my manager, Jolanda Brown, at jandlonza@yahoo.com, and I will come and do a book signing, once we look at the business of it and all those things.
I tell you what, volume 1 was really interesting. It had some powerful and insightful, powerful and insightful information. What can we expect from volume 2?
Well, what I can say and what I will say is this, because I don't want to give it all away for the readers. They can expect to be challenged a little bit more, to take a look at themselves. Because I talked about married couples, people that are dating, getting over heartbreak and being crushed and devastated rather, and people looking to get into a relationship. So I talk about all of that. So in the workbook, they will be challenged to take a look at themselves, because what I have found in my own experience, personally and professionally in my clinical work, is that we always want to blame the other person, and now we're the victim and they're doing it all. But it's not like that. We have to play a part in it too. You know what I mean? So in this book, it's going to help people to take a look at themselves and the role they play and how to become healthier in their relationships. It won't be anything about tearing any person, place, or thing down, but it'll be about building people up and letting them make the best decision for their lives, because I'm not telling somebody, leave your boo, stay with them, whatever. That's going to be your choice once you take the inventory to decide what you need.
I tell you what, you know what, that's very interesting, because one thing I have noticed and took note to is that once I read volume 1 and got into volume 2, I could see the patterns of always wanting to blame. He's doing something to me. No, he isn't. He's just doing whatever he's doing, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and I need to take ownership of that.
Absolutely.
So, what about our mentor, Bruce George, co-founder of Russell Simmons' Deaf Poetry Jam? How you feel about working with him?
I'm just humbled and honored to work with the legendary Bruce George. I mean, this man has done so much for the literary world, for poets. He's an activist. He's an awesome writer. He's the word engineer. And for him to, partnership with me on this project because he could see the vision and to take the time out to mentor me, professionally and also personally because, he was a former clinician as well and did a lot of therapy and counseling with people. I feel extremely honored, I mean, God is just awesome, that he worked and he works with me. Like, I'm really sometimes I'm like, really?
I know he's way cool. I love him. He's awesome.
And he will get you straight if it's wrong.
Yes, he will.
Right.
Okay? I like the way he lets me just be so free. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Well, I do want to say that, ladies and gentlemen, we are wrapping up here. And I do want to ask Ms. Harris, how can our readers continue to follow you through the Pimp-A-Lo syndromes?
I'm on several social media sites. I'm on Facebook at Teena Harris. I'm on Twitter at Pimp-A-Lo1. Most people see the at Pimp-A-Lo and get thrown off. That's me. They can also find me on Instagram at T_loves91. And I'm also on YouTube. And the name of my station is Endless Love, My One.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and you can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I think we did well here. What do you think?
I believe we did all right.
Good night.